Hello friends, Luna and I are here. If you've been keeping up with our channel, things have been a bit rough around here lately. I'm not going to get into it because it'll make me cry, but we're just trying to slowly keep moving forward. We got our first official snowfall yesterday. It snowed a few weeks ago, but it just like melted really quickly. This started yesterday morning and has not stopped. It's not a ton, it's like 2 to 3 inches, but it's beautiful. I have a doctor's appointment today, but it is with my regular OB, which those appointments now feel kind of redundant. I've been seeing a high-risk doctor so often that going to see my regular OB is just like a quick little check-in, and then if they need like a blood draw or something. But I don't even think they're doing that today. With the snow, we're leaving really early. I say we. Mark and I, my husband, were supposed to be in Hawaii right now for a week. You know, back when we were just newly pregnant and thought we were going to have a normal pregnancy, this opportunity to go to Hawaii came up for Mark's work. And so we planned the trip, and we also bought my dad a ticket to come up to Alaska and watch our boys. Well, you know, with everything that's going on, the trip completely became unimportant, but my dad said he would still come up. So Mark went back to work today for the first time, pretty much in, I want to say 3 or 4 weeks, but my dad is here with me, and so we've decided to tackle a few small projects. I am on light duty. I can't do much, but with my dad here helping, we can do a few things that have been on my to-do list. Miss Luna is chewing on my camera. There's something tasty on the bottom of it that she's trying to lick off. Yeah. She has kept me company pretty much almost every moment of the day for the last week since we got the sad news that one of our babies passed away inside of me. So it has been a rough week, but we're gonna go see the doctor and drive slowly because it's always crazy the first couple winter driving experiences until all the plowing gets done and things, but it sure is beautiful. Alexa, turn off Mark's light. As it started snowing this weekend, Bennett took it upon himself to go outside and get our Christmas tree and set it up all by himself. We are not putting any decorations on it, but if I'm being honest, just the extra light is helpful. We've got a lot of darkness outside right now and some heaviness in our lives, so those extra lights are nice. But let's see the winter wonderland outside. All right, Grandpa's here driving me. Usually this drive takes about 20-25 minutes, but we're giving ourselves 45 minutes just in case with all the new snow. Okay, we made it with about 10 minutes to spare, so that's perfect. Gonna head in. All right, friends, appointment done. Lots of tears. This is the first time I've seen my doctor since we lost baby A. She was so sweet. But thankfully, we got to see baby B. Great heartbeat. She's moving around. We just did a really quick look at her, and really anytime I get to see her, I just like, yeah, let's do it, because you know, now there's lots of worries, but she's looking really good. So just waiting for my dad to come back and pick me up. Glad to get that done for the day. And next time I see her, I'll be in the 3rd trimester. I actually like scheduled appointments out through the new year, and it would be great if we make it through all those appointments, because that's what we're shooting for now. Had to do a little like depression test, you know, to see how I'm doing. Thankfully, you know, with the support that I have, I think I'm doing pretty well. She was happy with where I'm at. You know, having 4 kids keeps you pretty busy, even if you are going through a really hard time. And so that's where we're at. I'm just, you know, keeping up with the kids, making sure Mark and I are checking in a couple times a day with each other with how we're feeling. We don't want to get to a place where we feel like we can't share what we're feeling, you know. I end up in tears multiple times a day, but that's what's to be expected right now. We're grieving, but we still have regular life to move through. So I'm gonna head downstairs, meet up with Dad, and then we're gonna stop at Lowe's on the way home to do a project. Well, he's gonna do the project. I'm going to be the supervisor because I am on light duty. Made it to Lowe's. They've got all these snow blowers out here covered in snow. In the summertime, they're lawn mowers and grills, but they get switched out for snow blowers. So happy in here, full of holiday trees and decorations. Nope, that one's, oh no, that's right. Right?
Is the color white? That's right, white.
White, 47 by 48, yes. Good morning, friends. Yesterday we came home from running those errands and I was absolutely exhausted. Took a nap, then had to make dinner. This grief process, you know, really just comes in waves, but I just find myself feeling emotionally exhausted a lot. Miss Luna's here with me, talking to me. Pretty much most mornings after all the boys get off to school, I'm ready for a nap. I just, you know, that's about all I have in me in the mornings. And then I do try and get dressed every day and get some sort of little project done. But I do end up in tears multiple times a day. So yes, life continues on, but you have to like take those moments to recharge and cuddle with your kitty, huh? But this morning, I just got back from taking the boys. They wanted to go to the book fair. So I took the younger 2 boys to their book fair. Got some books for their teachers. They each picked out a book. They had some money they wanted to spend. And now Dad and I are starting the project of hanging the blinds that we bought yesterday. But I'm pretty much just supervisor. Dad's doing all the lifting and hard work. So what do you think, Luna? Yeah. We do have a winter weather advisory starting tonight, but getting to drive the boys to school this morning, it is the most beautiful morning. The sun is out. The snow is covering every little branch. So I just really enjoyed seeing the little sunrise this morning. So you just got to take the little things and enjoy them.
It'll bright, you know, before we do it, because that one, we can put it up there and see if we've got any room on the end.
Okay, we got one blind done. It'll help keep our room a little bit warmer in the winter. 3 more to go. And do this window and then 2 of the boys' windows. I like it. Definitely a winter wonderland out there.
There is
Moved on to bedroom number, no, moved on to window number 3.
this window number 3.
Hopefully it gets easier as you go because you kind of know what you're doing. And we're gonna do this one as well because these blinds have all sorts of cords which are not legal anymore. And the boys have a really hard time putting these ones up and down. Plus they've gotten kind of ruined. These were original to the house when we bought it. I got this little steamer, and around our windows get kind of yucky with just the moisture from winter and stuff. So I'm cleaning those up as we're putting in the blinds, giving it all a fresh start. It's pretty yucky down in there, so we're gonna use this to clean it up. All right, room number 4 is done. Got these ones all set up. These ones actually went in really nice and easy. No modifications needed. Good morning, friends. Another day. Already had a bit of a, emotional morning. Didn't sleep very well. I'm just so grateful. You probably hear the vacuum in the background. I'm so grateful to have my dad here this week. God knew that I would need him here this week. Not for our Hawaii trip, but just to keep me company and do projects with me as I go through this grieving process. I'm still resting a lot even though he's here, but it's just kept me from just being in bed all day long or anything like that. So I'm so grateful. He's helped get the boys to the bus in the morning. Then he comes home and tidies the kitchen from everybody having breakfast and making lunches and all of that stuff. And then he says, all right, what project can I do? So right now he's vacuuming for me. I'm really gonna miss him when he leaves next week, but really I think it was just a tender mercy to have him here this week when Mark went back to work. But it really has just been so nice to have my dad here. I can't say that enough. It's just been such a blessing. So we are gonna do some shopping today. We had very, very grumpy kids this morning. They were convinced that it was going to be a snow day. We got all these winter weather advisories, everything from freezing rain to 1 inch of snow to 12 inches of snow. Like, it just kept changing, and everywhere you looked was different. Well, nothing happened overnight. We didn't get any snow. The clouds did roll back in, so maybe it's coming now. But they had themselves convinced that they were going to stay home today. So it was a push to get them on the bus. But they are at school, and Dad and I are going to finish the projects that we started yesterday. We got all the blinds up. We need to hang a curtain rod today. So that's our goal. And Dad said, we better go today because we don't know what this weather's going to do. We don't want to be driving around if it starts to get bad. So smart man, we will go get what we need and finish our projects. Woke up from my afternoon nap. The boys are home from school. It's getting dark super early now, but The snow has started, so we'll see if it keeps going all night. We still have just not gotten what they predicted, but 30 minutes from us in Anchorage, they've gotten so much. One thing that has just really helped me stay connected with the family while grieving these last few weeks is making simple, nutritious meals, lots of soups. So I'm just shredding the rest of this Costco chicken that we got a few days ago. I'm gonna make some chicken and dumplings. Lots of good veggies. We enjoyed our chicken and dumplings, and we just got a text. The boys got their wish come true. The school is canceled tomorrow, or they're doing remote learning. After we had 5 snow days, I think in a row last year, or something crazy like that in the 2-week period, they decided to make a plan, and we do remote learning now on snow days. So they called it early. We got the text. The boys will be home tomorrow. I think we did. We almost got up to like 8 snow days last year, so they realized we got to make a better plan. It is a winter wonderland. We got about 12 inches last night, and it's still coming down. Well, friends, the snow day arrived. It was just a day later than everybody thought. People got anywhere from, we got about 12 inches. Further up the mountains, they got like 22. So the kids are doing their remote learning. But I have a doctor's appointment this morning, so my dad's gonna drive me in. Mark is working from home and has some Zoom meetings, so wish us luck. I'd be lying if I didn't say that appointments make me a little bit nervous just after everything that's happened. So hopefully this is just a routine appointment. Have a good remote learning day. Go play in that snow too.
Both dual wheels or just one?
Well, we pulled out Grandpa's truck today to drive in because of the weather, and good thing we did. The highway was plowed, but that not plowed well. And who knows how long ago it was plowed. It was very bumpy, very sloshy. So we're making our way slow and steady, but good thing it's a snow day for the kids. The buses never would have been able to be out in this. That was a wild ride here. So grateful my dad brought me, and so grateful that Mark insisted we use the truck, because I can't remember the last time it was such a bumpy drive. But we made it, so counting our blessings. Well, friends, Dad and I just made it back from the doctor's appointment, and thankfully it was a really positive doctor's appointment. Baby B is growing, she's moving. I can feel her move all the time now, which wasn't happening before. I can feel her move a lot now, which was not happening before. I think she's just getting a lot bigger. They only like to measure the babies like 4 weeks apart so that they can see if there's been growth. If they measure it too often, then it can be kind of skewed. She has grown a lot. She was right on track. She was in the 50th percentile, whereas before surgery, she was riding underneath the 50th percentile. They said she was probably 1 pound, 7 ounces, which is awesome. The last time they measured, she was only 10 ounces, and that was about 4 weeks ago. So that is great. All her numbers looked really good. She still has a lot of fluid in there, but the fluid has not gotten to be more. Like, it's just stabilized at an amount that's probably a little bit too much, but it isn't growing. So it was just a nice, calm appointment, which is so good for my mama heart after so many just appointments that were just up, down, all over the place. So grateful Dad drove me. The road was terrible. The boys are playing outside, getting their schoolwork done for the day. Mark's working away here at home. I'm just grateful that that appointment went well. I wasn't sure we were going to make it into town because of the bad weather, but we just went really slow and it was very bumpy. Felt like I was on like a wild bronco ride. I feel like my emotions are leveling out a little bit. Grief is a really tricky thing. Here's a few things that I've kind of learned over the past several weeks since, I don't know, this whole experience and then losing the baby. One is that grief comes in waves. I still cry multiple times a day, but there are times when I'm just okay, and there's times when I'm happy, and all of those feelings are good and valid and okay. Like, I don't have to be sad all the time. Having kids really makes you just like keep going with life. You know, we still need groceries, we still need to eat. They still have to do their homework. Like, their life doesn't stop. So that keeps me moving at a regular pace. It has also been really helpful for me to have things that I want to get done. Now, I am a very active person. I like to have a lot of projects. I have definitely scaled back on my expectations of getting things done, but every little project that I do get done, I just count it as a win. Like getting 1 load of laundry done and put away, getting a simple dinner on the table. Like, I've just given myself grace, but it feels good to have those projects so that I'm not just laying in bed all day long and thinking about the pain that I'm feeling and things like that. But I have made sure to take time when I am feeling big feelings. If I need to cry, I am just letting it out. If I need to talk to somebody, I am talking to somebody. But having times of just getting a project done have been really good too. Same with filming a video and editing it. I'm not doing it at the pace that I have done it in the past, but still just having that to do when I feel up to it has felt good. So that's why I'm still putting these videos out. Now, who knows what next week will look like. Having my dad here has been extremely helpful this week because we just kind of tried to tick off a project a day, and then he drove me anywhere that I needed to go so I didn't have to have the stress of driving in the snow and things. Such a blessing. So next week I may be relying more on friends and other family members if I feel like I'm not up for those things. Another thing that I've really noticed about this grieving process is it is physically and emotionally exhausting. I know that I'm on light duty and need to rest, but it's just felt like even more like I do need to take that time to rest and recover. I've been trying to go to bed at a good time, but also just resting during the day. For me, putting in an audiobook has been really helpful because when I lay down, my mind tends to just start going and I start thinking and I get sad and then I don't rest. So I've been just putting in an audiobook and putting it on a timer so that it only plays for 15 minutes. And usually I'm asleep by the end of that 15 minutes. So that's been good. One other thing that I've realized this week as I've been a little bit more out and about, the first week I did not want to leave the house. This week I've needed to leave the house a little bit more. I still don't love talking to people about what's going on because I just get really emotional. So as I've gone out a little bit more this week, I've realized that I have to conserve my energy and my emotional energy and be really selective about who I share things with. And here, let me just give you an example. I had to return some stuff to Old Navy, and I had bought 2 of things, and we just happened to be right there when we went to Lowe's, and so I brought the bag along, and I realized I don't have to explain to the lady at Old Navy why I'm returning these baby outfits, because that would just take a lot of emotional energy. Now, if I'm seeing a really good friend at the store and they give me a hug and I can share with them and I'm going to get that support back through that conversation, then it's totally worth sharing with that person what is going on. But if it's just a passing of somebody, I don't have to share everything that's going on. It's okay to just say, everything's fine, just so that I can conserve that emotional energy, if that makes sense. And when I realized that I could just not share everything with everybody I run into, it made me a little bit less afraid to be out and about. But I do make sure that when I am struggling, I do share with people that I know can offer me that support back. My mom, Mark, some good friends, but I don't have to tell the cashier at Old Navy, what's really going on in my life, because you got to conserve that energy. And I will probably continue to take that forward until it doesn't take so much energy to share our story. At some point, I know I can share it, but right now it just feels like it takes too much. So hopefully that makes sense. So these are just some of my feelings that I've had around grief. I know that everybody is going to grieve differently, and the way that your personality is going to be different, but these are just some things that I've realized about myself the last few weeks, things that have helped me through, things that are not helpful. But we're making it day by day, hour by hour. It's good to surround yourself with good people. It makes a big difference, though. I've realized that a lot. This last thing may get easier now that Mark and I have a little bit more clarity in our minds, but the past 2 weeks, when people just texted us and said, let me know if there's something we can do, we didn't have any answers for them. Like, it just felt like too much to inconvenience somebody to come up with something they could do to help us. The people that reached out and said, hey, we're bringing a meal, would today or tomorrow be better? And just gave us like really little that we had to think about, or hey, I'm going to stop by and drop off a treat. Those were the things that were most helpful. So we're just trying to remember that for future when we want to help people, just act instead of putting it on that person to kind of decide what they need help with. Just offering exactly what you're willing to do and maybe giving them a little bit of an option of like when they can do it. But it was too much for us to like coordinate things, we realized. And so that was just really eye-opening to us. Like, if you have that impression to help, maybe just do it, drop it off on their doorstep, or tell them exactly when you're going to do it. And those were the meals that were really helpful instead of trying to ask us to do it. Anyways, hopefully that makes sense. Not that those things are bad. It's not bad to say, how can I help? But we have not had the emotional capability to come up with things for people to do. So luckily we've had my dad here. We really haven't needed any help. And maybe as my mind clears a little bit more, I'll have more things that people can do. But Dad and I are going to hang that curtain rod. Well, Dad's going to hang it. I'm going to supervise. And then I think we're pretty much done with projects while he's here. I just wanted to give you updates on the baby and how we're doing. I got through this without crying. So that's, that shows that my emotions have leveled out a little bit. No guarantees that I won't be back crying in the next video or baby update. But for now, just taking it 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time. Your messages have continued to be so helpful and encouraging. I just feel so grateful to have this community to cheer us on and to love us through this difficult time, because, I didn't ever think that I would be sharing like this much about my life, but I knew how much love there was and how many prayers there were going up for us. And it just felt like I needed to share with all of you, and I'm grateful for all of the comments. I have not been able to respond to them. I never will be able to respond to all of them, but just know that they have been so helpful, and we really appreciate it. So thanks for coming along this week with Dad and I as we navigate this grief and what life looks like right now. Thankfully, we still have one healthy baby so far, and hopefully that's the trajectory that we're going on, because that would be wonderful. It would be a huge blessing to be able to have her join our family. It will always be accompanied by sadness for losing her sister, but there's still so much to be grateful for, and we're trying to hang on to those things. So we love you, and we'll see you again real soon for more of This Alaska Life.
You're going to watch me dance for a little bit.